Hey, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Andy gave short shrift. We have a celebrity in the audience. I want him to stand up. Sir, will you stand here from Metropolis? Stand up, sir. Mr. Lex Luthor, everybody, right here. Thank you very much, Lex, for coming. Well, I sense your disappointment already. You looked at the playbill. There's an attractive young redhead coming up. We have a young guy from WIP radio, and here I am. You're looking at me and said, "Christ, this guy took my mother to the prom during the Nixon administration." Jeez. When I'm the oldest person on the bill, it's weird being backstage with those folks. The other comics, they're on their iPhones, they're on their iPads, they're on their cell phones. I'm on Medicare. I didn't always used to be like this. I used to be cute. I'd walk into a place like this, and women would look at me and say, "Ooh, I wonder if he's available." Now they look at me and they say, "I wonder if he's even insurable." And I'm not. I'm in terrible shape. They say if you're in good shape when you run, you should be able to talk. Oh, when I run, I talk, but I say things like, "Call 911 and where's the nearest hospital?" So some of you men, I may look familiar to you. They use my picture in the AARP brochure to remind you to get your prostates checked. So, it's tough looking like this. I mean, look at me. I'm like a genetic mashup of Mitt Romney and Keith Richards. It's hard to look this good. Maintenance on a 1952 Italian is really a lot of work. Can you imagine if Consumer Reports did a report on me like they do on used cars? Let me see. Reliability, lower than average. Drivetrain and fuel injection, below standard. Well-padded back seat, tendency to leak fluids. Oh, well. So, how's everybody doing in this Corona coaster that we're all on? It's nice of you to come out beating out the Delta variant. I am curious about something, just by a show of hands. Who here has been threatened by somebody in their family in the last year? Who has had their life threatened? Really? I can tell you for myself that it's been a little bit too much togetherness at home. You turn around and go, "Oh, it's you again." And no, my wife and I have had a little bit too much togetherness. Recently, I got angry. I was walking out. I said, "It's over." And she said, "You promised me till death do us part." And I said, "Well, I may exercise that death clause in our contract in a minute." But on the other hand, this is an opportunity to find new ways of spicing up your marriage. Who had the anniversary here? I hope you're finding ways, ma'am. I'll give you a hint, something I do. My wife and I played a game. I'm the Domino's delivery guy. And I show up and she pretends she doesn't have enough money. And I say, "Well, Mrs. Rocchi, this pizza isn't going to pay for itself." And she goes, "Oh, Mr. Domino's, man, I am hot and frothy like your pizza. Let me tell you." So, I don't know how many people have been working at home. One thing I'm sure you don't miss, corporate pep talks, corporate language. When I was working, my boss, when I got surly, my boss would take me aside and he'd say, "Pat, there's no I in team." I said, "Yeah, but there's one in raise, and I'm not getting one this year because of idiots like you." And then sensitivity training. Is that still a thing where people teach men to be? Oh, yeah, I feel the same way. But, the truth of the matter is it's because of guys that it happens. Guys are the worst. I had one friend of mine who got all indignant about it. And he said, "You mean to tell me that if my female coworker shows up and she's wearing a dress, that I can't compliment her if it makes her breasts look real nice. And I said, you know you're the reason women hate us, don't you? Yeah. Hey, glad I played it. Over the course of my career, I played at Carnegie Hall, I've been at the White House, but tonight I'm in Richboro. Home of, you tell me. Yeah, what? Like what? And Guisseppi's. I'm glad to be here at Guisseppi's. You like the way I said that? I'm Italian. I'm Italian too, like the owner here. And my real first name is Pasquale. Pasquale Rocchi. Yes, that's the kind of name when people hear it, they say, so how accurate was The Godfather? Let me put it to you this way. For most of you folks, The Godfather is a great story. For my family, it's a documentary. I'm here from South Philadelphia. Hey, thank you. Did you travel here from South Philly? But you escaped, right? Yeah, that's it. Let me tell you something, ma'am. When I went there, I felt like I wasn't Italian enough when I went there. Those people are hyper Italian. First thing I had to do was get plastic slipcovers for all my furniture. So, and yeah, the velvet with the flocked wallpaper too. But yes, there's the especially Italian, South Philly Italian. I had to make my house like much more South Philly friendly and put pictures of the three Franks up. Frank Sinatra, Frank Rizzo, and Pope Frank. Yeah. Did you see the date? It's late August already. Summer's almost over. We're getting, we're going to be heading into the year-end holidays soon. It's murder. It's murder. Last year we went through this, went through the holidays, and you're just flying through them. Time flies when you're not having any fun at all. Stop and think about the holidays. You go through the holidays, you don't get to enjoy them. Halloween. How many people actually had kids show up at their house for Halloween? Anybody? No. Yeah, I had one kid show up, and his costume was a throwback. He came as Bill Clinton. Yeah. I said, nice costume. What kind of candy do you want? He said he didn't want any candy, but he did ask for my wife's phone number. And then soon after Halloween, we get into Veterans Day. And by the way, do we have any veterans here in the audience? Where are they? Where are you? Who's over here? Sir, what era did you serve?
66 to 70.
66 to 70, and what branch?
Army Special Forces.
Oh, thank you, sir. Let's thank him for his service and for all the vets in the audience. Thank you. Actually, sir, that's about the era I would have served. I was eligible. I could have served in the Vietnam era, but I was classified 1S. They didn't take me because I'm a sissy. Yeah, the guy came with a flip chart, and he checked me out, and he said, "We can't take this man. He's definitely a sissy. Look at him. He prances. He can't march." And all that. I know guys like, you're the real deal, sir. You're a real vet. I knew a guy. He wanted the kind of attention that vets get, so he got his own Vietnam veteran hat. And he was walking around, he's getting free drinks everywhere. A real Vietnam vet came up to him and said, "Hey, soldier, I was in Nam. Where were you stationed?" Oh, he started pulling random Asian phrases out of his rear end. I was shut down with John McCain and Bok Choy. Yeah, we did R&R together in Mugu Gai Pan. Yeah, and do me a favor, when the fall comes, can we do without the pumpkin spice stuff that they bring out every fall? Am I right? Dunkin' just announced that they're bringing their stuff out early, and everybody's going to follow. Pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks. Pumpkin spice Cheerios, tasting Jamaican pumpkin salsa. I went to the hospital. They offered me a pumpkin spice colonoscopy. Flavor of the month. And then soon after that, you get into November, and you know what that means. Christmas music. Yeah. Yeah, I'm picking Snickers out of my teeth from Halloween, and they're playing Christmas music on B101. And it's such high-class, reverent music, too. Nothing speaks to me about the birth of my Savior, the baby Jesus, as I won a hippopotamus for Christmas. So, congratulations on your 53rd anniversary, ma'am. Pretty soon I'm going to be facing my anniversary, too, with the way this year's flying. But I'm going to be married 43 years at my next time. No, don't applaud. No, don't applaud. It's not that great. It's not that great. You know, it's like my wife is nice. If you met her, you'd think she was cute and everything. But you know, things about me just bother her all the time. It's like the vows I took were, will you love, honor, and annoy this woman? Yeah, I mean, she's really been rough during the pandemic. She said, wear your mask. I don't want this virus to kill you. That's my job. One day she looked at me, she said, is that skin tag on your nose bothering you? I said, well, no, it's not. And she said, well, it's bothering me, take care of it. So I go to, the stupid thing is I have to go to the doctor for something that's bothering her. The doctor looks at me and he says, oh, I have one of those. I said, you have a skin tag on your nose? He said, no, I have an annoying wife too. And as I said earlier, and as Andy said, my name is Rocchi, like Stallone's iconic character. And that's been a great name to have coming from Philadelphia. In fact, it figured into our wedding all those years ago. My wife had this brainstorm. She said, how about if we came into the reception to the Rocchi theme? Because that's who we'll be Mr. and Mrs. Rocchi. And I said, okay, this sounds good. So the first thing she did was she hired a ring announcer for the reception. And now, presenting to you for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Rocchi. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. I'm glad you're amused. I hate this music after all these years. I'm so sick of it. Oh, then she went all out. Wedding party ran up the Art Museum steps. We toasted with a glass of raw eggs. She got a little too much into it. Yeah, when I pushed the cake in her face, she decked me. And then, pretty soon, in short order, we had the kids, Rocchi 2 and Rocchi 3. I don't know, you have kids? Anniversary lady?
Oh, the anniversary lady?
Over here, I'm sorry. It's dark up here. Anniversary lady, you have kids? 4, God bless you, ma'am. I have 2, and let me tell you, they will turn on you. They will turn on you. They'll just treat you like an idiot. I had my son, real surly, and he says to me, when did you stop being cool? And I said, September 25th. He said, that's my birthday. And I said, yeah, that's when I stopped being cool, when I had to start taking care of your sorry ass. And I took him to Sears. It's a pickle lawnmower you'll like. Why do you expect me to mow the lawn? Why do you think I even had you? And I'll tell you, one of the things I really like, I don't know if you enjoy doing this, anniversary lady, I love embarrassing my kids in public when they were, that's a game you should all try at home. I'll tell you what's really cool. A simple thing, you take a cap and you put it on backwards. And he looks at me in horror and he says, oh, Dad, you're not going out like that, are you? And then I go into some jive talk. I go, yo, yo, yo. I'm just going to be meeting with my homies real soon. That's good for like 20 minutes of him hiding in the bedroom from me. And I'll tell you something else that embarrasses the kids for you newer parents. talking to them about sex. They hate the idea that parents have had sex with each other. I don't know where they think they came from, but they just hate the idea. This is a true story. I studied for an MBA in my late 40s, and I got my degree, and afterwards, I kept a graduation gown. After all those years and all that money, I wanted a memento of the occasion. And so the kids are in the bedroom one day, and they say, "Dad, why do you have a graduation gown in your closet?" And I get this evil glit in my eye. My wife recognizes it, and I said to them, "Well, it's a game your mother and I play." I said, "I'm the professor," and I dress up. I'm the professor, and she's the student who's failing in her courses, and she wants to know how to raise her grades. And they're going, "Oh," they said, "that's so gross." I said, "I guess you don't want to hear how she did in her orals then, do you?" Oh. Yeah. So you gotta have the sex talk with the kids too. I had to have one with my son when he was only 7 years old. It was, he was young. Somebody said, "Ooh, really?" Yeah, he went into school one day, he went to the teacher and he said, "Hey, looking good in that dress." The problem was it was a Catholic school. And yeah, Sister Charles Bronson was not in a good mood that day. So a lot of people default. They let the schools take care of it. And they let the schools take care of it. And that usually means embarrassing videos with the kids, their peers in class, the people of of different genders. And so every embarrassing phrase sounds like it's in slow motion up there, really. Now, when a woman's body prepares for childbirth every month, that's called menstruation. And when a boy releases external sperm at night, that's called a wet dream. And when he releases the sperm himself, that's called masturbation. Well, as Groucho Marx used to say, folks, you've been a lovely audience. And I want to close with something a little bit different. I notice it has to do with the area. I notice we're near St. Mary's in Richboro, St. Mary's Hospital, and they have an outpatient clinic here. I used to work in healthcare marketing. I used to market hospitals. I'm kind of the opposite of an ambulance chaser. I used to run in front of the ambulance and ask people to jump in, more or less. But I used to do advertising for hospitals. And what ended up happening was there was a change in healthcare marketing. They stopped referring to people as patients and started referring to them as guests, as though they were checking in a hotel. So I wrote a little song to Disney's Be My Guest that talk about healthcare services. So I thought you might enjoy it. One more thing. At my age, I have two things to worry about. One is my stamina and one is my memory. I hope to make it through this song in one piece, and if I don't want to hear one more time when this is over, okay? And Andy refused to spring for an orchestra for this, so I'm going to have to sing this a cappella for you. Be our guest, come on in and take your test. Put this gown on that will show your butt until you are redressed. Give us blood from your arm, we will promise you no harm. Give us samples of your urine, let us know if something's burning. Yes, the waiting room's old and the stethoscopes are cold. And we'll make you wait a while you're undressed. Put your stuff in a locker while we get your doctor. Be our guest, be our guest, be our guest. We have drugs, as you see, in our well-stocked pharmacy, though the prices that we charge could be described as larceny. It's our chance to cash in $50 for aspirin, and we'll wake you up at midnight for a sleeping pill. That's all right. Have a cream, have a balm. Sedatives will keep you calm as we poke you all throughout the day and night. And if your bowel's recessive, we have lots of laxatives. They're quite explosive, like a locomotive. Be our guest, be our guest, be our guest. It's not all doom and gloom in the operating room. Anesthesia from our gassers puts you under, we presume. We have gloves, we have masks, full protection, should you ask. We do not want to be scolded, God forbid should you get COVID. And when you're back in bed, you will see that you're well fed. You'll be shocked at all the crap you can ingest. As soon as you say hello, we'll force feed you Jell-O to digest. Don't protest. Be our guest, so just rest, don't protest. There's no need to be obsessed. Our docs know what they should look for, then they won't be so outguessed. So just chill, take a pill. We have space left on your bill. Glad you find us entertaining. We will search in every corner to determine your disorder. Test by test, one by one. Even if you say, I'm done. We will keep it up while you are getting dressed. Because if you distract us, you'll sue for malpractice. Don't protest. Don't contest, just be our guest. Thank you, Richboro. Thank you tonight.